Well, Microsoft estimates approximately 8.5 million Windows devices have been affected by the global outage. The issue has been linked to a software update by cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike. The outage led to numerous problems around the world, including flight cancellations and banking issues. Experts are working around the clock to provide support.
Holidays delayed in Britain, flights grounded in the United States. Cashless transactions impossible on the high street as health services were interrupted across Europe. All the consequence of a massive IT outage caused by a tiny update that crashed 8.5 million Microsoft devices and can only be fixed one at a time.
The idea is the first thing we do is we will turn the PC on and off 3 times. That will force it to what we call Windows recovery mode. And the idea is we have access to troubleshoot settings, which effectively lets me boot this PC in what's called safe mode. So we get rid of all of those nasty files and effectively start up as we'd expect. Yeah. And then as soon as we're in, we can actually search for that errand file specifically and remove it from that list.
And you've got to physically delete.
You need to physically delete the file, yes.
So you've got to press that button.
You've got to hit the delete button. That's the way to do it.
Disruption has continued into a second day, with pharmacists among those working to clear a backlog. The former head of the National Cybersecurity Centre told me companies and public services need to confront how they were debilitated so easily.
Let's look at the things on which we most depend, and let's look at our plans to keep them on as best we can, but in this case that was impossible. So let's also work out how we cope in that worst case scenario.
Because it's going to happen again.
Probably.
The outage is a catastrophe for CrowdStrike, the market-leading cybersecurity provider now synonymous with a global crash. It raises questions too for Microsoft and other US tech giants about their dominance of the sector.
The reality is it's really the tech sector that needs to almost self-regulate. They need to make sure this doesn't happen. And as tech gets bigger and bigger around the world, that's sort of the double-edged sword. Thousands of businesses are still being impacted even today.
The CrowdStrike crash has exposed the vulnerability of a world built on shared digital foundations. Paul Kelso, Sky News.